You know, when you think about the great epics, they're always about some huge, monumental struggle, right? But the ones that really stick with us, they're not just about history or gods and monsters. They're about us.
So what if the biggest war you'll ever fight isn't out there on some battlefield, but right inside your own head? That's the whole idea behind the Bhagavad Gita. It takes this legendary war and turns it into a mirror for our own internal conflicts. You know, that daily battle for self-mastery that we're all fighting. So yeah, let's dive right in.
Okay, so to really get a handle on this inner battle, we've got to start with the guide, the central figure, Krishna. But we're not just talking about a historical person here. Nope. We need to go deeper to unpack the really powerful meanings hidden inside that name.
So the first layer comes from the root of the name, Krish, which literally means to attract. So in this sense, you can think of Krishna as, well, as the universe's ultimate center of gravity. It's this cosmic nucleus that's just pulling everything in existence towards itself. It's that irresistible force that's calling everything and everyone back home. Then there's another meaning, and this one goes even deeper. It's like a play on words. You can break the name down into Krishni, which is that feeling of I am, and Buhu, which means to be. Put them together, and Krishna becomes the very foundation of all existence. The idea here is pretty mind-blowing. My personal sense of I am can only exist because of this universal is. Our individual self is completely dependent on that one ultimate source.
And that brings us to maybe the most personal interpretation of all. In the world of yoga, Krishna isn't some external being. Krishna is the highest point of consciousness inside of us. It's seen as the control center in what's called the Sahasrara chakra. That's the spiritual center a lot of people connect with the pineal gland. So it's not a god out there somewhere. It's the ultimate destination of our own inner journey. It's the peak of your own consciousness, just waiting to be reached.
So once you start seeing Krishna as your own highest potential, the whole battlefield of the Gita just transforms. It's no longer a story about ancient kings and armies. It becomes a map of your own mind. Let's take a look at the very first verse and see what happens when we read it this way.
Now on the surface, this is just a blind king, Dhritarashtra, asking his advisor, hey, what's happening on the battlefield? But if we see it as a psychological metaphor, the question becomes something we all ask ourselves. It's like asking, okay, inside of me right now, what's the state of the battle between my better angels and my inner demons? Who's winning?
And this is where it gets really cool. When you decode the symbols, the whole epic becomes a map of you. The holy field, Dharmakshetra, that's your own body. The battlefield, Kurukshetra, that's the world where you make your choices every day. The blind king, that's our own mind when it's unenlightened, when it can't see the truth. His sons, the Kauravas, they represent all our negative forces, greed, anger, ego. And the good guys, the Pandavas, they are the forces of our spiritual growth, the parts of us pushing to connect with that higher consciousness.
Okay, so if this whole thing is an internal battle, what's the game plan? How do we make sure the right side wins? The Gita says the answer is all about understanding our dharma, our true purpose. And really, we're all standing at a crossroads, facing this choice every day. On one side, you have Swadharma. That's your unique human purpose. It's the path of growth, of serving others, of connecting to something bigger than yourself. It's your highest calling. And on the other side, that's Paradharma. This is basically living like an animal, just driven by instinct, selfishness, and basic survival. It's the lower path. And the Gita is, well, it's pretty hardcore about this. It basically says it is far better to die trying to live up to your highest potential than to live a long, comfortable life ruled by your lower instincts. That's how important it is. Being true to your higher self is literally everything.
All right, so we know the battlefield is in our mind, and we know our purpose is to follow our higher path. But what's the how? How do we actually do it? The Gita gives us a super clear 3-step action plan for making real spiritual progress.
It really boils down to 3 key things. First, there's pranipata, which means complete surrender. This is about dropping the ego, that little voice that says, I did this, or I'm in control. It's about recognizing a higher powers at work. Second is paraprashna. This isn't just asking random questions. It's about asking the right questions, the ones that actually help your spiritual practice and lead to real insight. And third, you've got seva, selfless service. And the key here is that it's unilateral. You give without expecting anything back. You just serve, because you see the divine in everything and everyone.
Now look, this path can sound tough. I get it. Our inner demons can feel pretty powerful. But here's the beautiful part. The Gita doesn't end with a scary warning. It ends with an incredible, universal promise, a promise that is for absolutely everyone.
The text talks about this force called Maya, the force of illusion that keeps us confused and trapped. But here's the twist. Maya isn't some separate evil thing. It actually belongs to the Supreme. It's a tool used by that higher power. So what does that mean for us? It means you don't have to fight the illusion head-on. You just have to take refuge in the one who controls the illusion. It's like instead of fighting the puppet, you go straight to the puppeteer.
And this right here, this is the ultimate promise. It says that even the most wicked person imaginable, the text uses a term, sudurachari, which basically means a person so bad that even other bad people think they're bad. Even that person, if they can just turn their mind to the Supreme with total focus, they will be set free. This path isn't just for the saints, it's for everyone. It means that no matter what you've done, no one is ever, ever beyond hope.
So, in the end, the Gita just lays it all out for you. The battlefield, it's inside your head. The armies clashing, those are your own thoughts, your own tendencies. And the prize, the ultimate victory, it's reaching your own highest consciousness. The choice and the war is yours. So, how are you going to fight it?